Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this special video series where we are highlighting some of the amazing women in the decorated apparel space. These women are absolute rock stars. They are here sharing their advice, having conversations. They're doing work. They're a lot of fun to talk to. And today I have the pleasure of talking with Chanel Stovall. She is the CEO of Tguru USA. And not only does Chanel have a really contagious and positive attitude, but she launched her website, the Tguru USA website, in the midst of what is probably one of the most difficult economic times that the world has experienced. And, I'm sure everyone can guess I'm referring to the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's bring her in. Chanel, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity. So excited to be a part of this series and all of the great women that are sharing about their business. So thank you.
You and I have known each other for a few years now, which has been a real pleasure. I kind of want to talk to you about what was it like launching the Tguru USA website in the middle of COVID?
Very scary, I would have to say. As you mentioned, Cassie, this was something that none of us had experienced, and so I kind of said, you know what, we've had this little baby kind of aging for a while. Let's just put it out there and see what happens. I could have waited to 2021, but we had done so much legwork with the website and the behind the scenes of the website that I just didn't want to hold on to it any longer. So even though the industry as a whole was taking a major hit, with so many canceled events and people not meeting in person or gathering in large groups, I still decided to move forward. And needless to say, I was scared. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people kind of thought, what were you doing? Why are you doing this? And even during that time, I know a lot of my counterparts in the industry were contemplating ways to pivot. So we weren't really at a point where we could pivot because we were so new. So we just kind of went with what we knew and said, we're going to give it our all. So we went with it. It was very scary. Let's just be honest. Business was not booming in that first year, but we moved forward and really excited to see where we'll continue to go.
Yeah. And I think that challenge of, launching a business, getting everything going is hard in and of itself. So to do it in such a difficult time, I have mad props, to give you. One of the things you had said to me was, you said, I'm still climbing, I'm still enjoying it. So talk about that journey a little bit. I mean, now that you're going, what's it been like?
Absolutely. I think we put so much pressure on ourselves as entrepreneurs to just kind of go from 0 to 100 in like 30 days, right? We see the immediate success of so many social media influencers. And so we kind of think as business owners, we can have that same immediate success. However, in reality, that isn't always the case. So one thing that my mentor constantly tells me is I always look at him and we talk about how great he's doing. And I'm like, man, I can't wait to get there. And he keeps reminding me, Chanel, I've been doing this for 40 years, but enjoy the journey. And that's been one of the hardest parts, like enjoying the journey and understanding that, yes, we will grow, we'll continue to progress and become more of a household name. But during this time of the climb to get there, really take heed of the lessons that I'm learning, that we're learning, that the industry's learning, and be okay and comfortable with being uncomfortable about not being the expert or the top dog just yet. But I'm just understanding that I'm still on that climb and we will get there as long as we just keep moving forward.
One of the things that you brought up to me when we were chatting is this concept of the imposter syndrome, right? I think that a lot of women in particular probably relate to that. So can you kind of, explain like what you're referring to? Because I think a lot of people probably are in the same, headspace.
This industry is male dominated, right? And let's be honest, there aren't many Black and brown entrepreneurs or business owners that are really thriving in this industry either. And so stepping into it as a brown woman, the imposter syndrome of the need to catch up so fast to our competitors, and just understanding, again, I'm on that climb. It's okay to not know everything. Things are constantly changing and to just stay open-minded to learning. And that's been something I keep reminding myself of is it's okay to not know the answer. It's okay to not know exactly how to print on a new fabric that we may not have experienced before. We can run the tests, we can do everything we need to do, we can do the research, and we'll get there. And again, it's just getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and learning. I think I have not overcome the imposter syndrome. I've just accepted that I am where I am, and there's still room at the top for me. So accepting that has been what has helped me get past those days where I look at my counterparts, I look at my competitors, and I compare myself to them, and I compare the success of Tguru USA to theirs. But again, just accepting that there's room for me. And as long as as you said, my personality, as long as I keep moving forward, we'll get there. And that's okay.
You talked about, you utilizing a mentor, right? So that's like a huge thing, and tapping into the education. So, how did you find your mentor, and where did you guys get connected?
Absolutely. So I love this story. So I decided that I wanted to get into custom apparel, which was so out of the sky for so many people to hear that from me. And so I was talking to one of my really good guy friends, and we were chatting, and I told him, I said, hey, I want to start this business. I want to get into custom apparel. And he goes, I know someone in that industry. And so I was just like, you say something, but when you really got to put your, put the walk to the talk, or the talk the walk, or I'm sorry, walk the walk or talk the talk, that's what it is. When I really had to do that was when he connected me with my now mentor, and I had to really show him like, hey, I'm serious about this. So he got us together in an initial meeting, a phone conversation. And during that conversation, my mentor I think he just wanted to get a gauge of how serious I was. So we talked a little bit, and he kind of said, okay, well, I want you to read this book. He recommended that I read this one book that is now like my Bible, right? And so I read that book in like 2 weeks. I'm not a reader. I don't think I've ever read anything that fast in my life. And so I read it because I was just so excited to just dive into everything custom apparel. And from there, that relationship started to flourish. And needless to say, get a mentor, because he saved me a lot of money along the journey. I will say that.
I'm just curious, what book is it?
I can't even remember the name of the book, but it's like how to, I might, hold on, let me see if it's like right here in my desk. I don't even know the name of the book. That's actually really bad. I should know the name of the book. It's been like 3 years from now. And it has so many marks and everything in it, but I guess I have not stared at the front cover that much as the inside.
You know what? If you're spending more time with the inside of the book than the outside, I think that you're in a good spot.
You know what? That is very interesting. You put me on this podcast and you got me, but I will hopefully leave a comment on this and let everyone know the name of the book, because it's become our Bible. And that's something he recommended. He said, this will be your Bible, and it has become that. So I do want to share it, and I will share it in the comments or something.
I love it. And speaking of sharing, now that you've been in it for a few years, what advice do you have for other women in the industry?
Oh, there's so much. I would have to say, depending on the structure of your business, for us, it was direct to customer through our e-commerce site. So I would speak specifically to that. When it came to the website, I think I wanted it to be so perfect that I delayed us a little bit, and I would just say things can always change later. Don't delay the vision. Don't delay the dream because you're trying to make it perfect. You can change them after your launch and perfect them to your standard. So just move forward and launch it and get it done, and it'll be worth it. Fix it later, because we fix so much stuff about our website after our launch, and it's okay.
I think that's great advice, especially for the perfectionist in all of us, because let's be honest, we all have that deep down inside a little bit. It's what makes us competitive. All right, Chanel, well, that's about all the time we have for today. I just want to, again, say thank you so much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure, as always.
Thank you. And to all the women out there watching, you guys got it. Keep moving forward, and let's just take over.
I love it. Thanks again, Chanel. And again, a reminder to all of our viewers, make sure you're subscribed to the Apparelist newsletter. Visit us at apparelist.com. You're not going to want to miss the article write-up I have of Chanel, where there's a lot more information to be shared. And until next time, we'll catch you later.